What you are seeing here, in my opinion, is simply amazing. Early on in my YouTube career, I made a video showing off Mineguard Town, an online-only hub area from Monster Hunter 1 that was revived through the efforts of individuals within the Monster Hunter Old School Discord. I'm still in that Discord, and during the downtime in my day, I'll check both that and multiple other Monster Hunter community Discords to see the recent developments within them. One day while browsing the media channel of the Old School Discord, I saw this post by user Pickles showing off Monster Hunter Tri in virtual reality. Through a special and dated build for the Dolphin emulator, Pickles here was able to hook up a VR headset and play through Monster Hunter Tri with full camera control just by looking around. Not only that, but they pointed out to me that it was possible to use this setup to visit Loc Lac City as well, another online-only hub area within the Monster Hunter series. If you're a longtime Monster Hunter fan, or you've simply been following recent developments, it may be no surprise to you that Loc Lac, the hub area of Monster Hunter Tri, is finally visitable once again. My friend and fellow content creator Flyan has an amazing video on this subject, and if you'd like to take a look at said video, I'll leave a link in the description. I don't have as much of an affinity towards Loc Lac as some others do. 3 Ultimate is my favorite entry in the series, and that means in Generation 3 as well, and I'm more at home within Portanzia. But Monster Hunter Tri is where I got my start, and revisiting Loc Lac has been a goal of mine for some time. What better excuse did I have than to utilize my VR headset that was just collecting dust under my dresser? Not only would I be able to visit Moga Village, various maps, and even Loc Lac City, but I'd be able to look around them at various angles that are not normally possible through conventional play. I could potentially even hunt monsters in VR for a truly immersive experience. If you enjoy this content, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as it helps me create it for you all. Everyone, allow me to welcome you to Monster Hunter Tri VR. Now, the VR experience through the Dolphin emulator isn't perfect. In fact, it's rather finicky. One major issue is that your character model will lose all textures, but that doesn't seem to be the case for armors and weapons. That being said, it's truly phenomenal what you can observe within Moga Village that you may have never seen before. I can look from the normal angle of the camera on the Wii, but fully turn around to see the entirety of the village and the people within. Unfortunately, the flag that dictates whether an NPC will be rendered is based on the position of the player character, so moving too far away will cause the models to turn invisible. And this isn't possible within Moga Village only. You can travel to various other locations and get an incredible view and sense of depth that was never possible within this entry of the series. I can head to Moga Farm and look all around it. I can even head into the cave here and feel like I'm really fully inside, looking around to see the various walls that are fully rendered for, God knows what reason. Back in Moga, I can even walk around the map to get a better glimpse of the various features around the village. I can walk up to the pier where I depart on quests and look to my side to see the Argosy captain's ship, and the sense of scale is simply breathtaking. You don't really register just how big certain models are in comparison to your character until you're looking at them face to face, or face to boat in this scenario. Now, something that becomes more apparent as you exit into the actual map is how the HUD and UI are anchored to the player. You can look freely, but all of the player info is attached to the player model and will follow said model as you move around the map. It's not particularly jarring though. Other than some stuttering and various graphical issues, the game played fairly well under these conditions. I even managed to successfully hunt a Great Jaggy in D Island, and even more interesting, I was able to see Kuropeko spawn in the area and watch him fly down from the very top of the map's skybox, something that normally isn't possible. Here's some footage of me exploring D Island, sandy plains, and flooded forest. As you can see from the footage, and like I mentioned before, the sense of scale is massive. It was fairly intimidating to see Jaggy and Kuropeko up close when they're so large. I was even surprised at how big Cha-Cha was from how my brain generally registers it. Like I mentioned though, the setup isn't perfect. Going underwater is possible and doesn't cause too many issues, but screen space effects like you see here get locked to the player character similar to the UI. It doesn't prevent you from playing, of course, but it may break your sense of immersion slightly. That being said, it's a sacrifice I think you should be willing to make if you want to give this a try. Now, it would be irresponsible of me at this point to not show off one of the coolest aspects of this setup, and that's exploring Loc Lac City in VR. This is off script, but I set up a Monster Hunter 3 server through Monster Hunter 3 SP. You can find their Monster Hunter Tri Discord in the link in the description. Arriving in Loc Lac provides this immense sense of wonder and scale. You can look up at the two giant pillars by the gate, you can see off into the distance, and you can even watch airships fly over your head. Honestly, this video is recorded in a way that doesn't do all of this justice. To actually have the headset on and trying this firsthand is a completely different experience. I explored the Smith area, stopped by the tavern, and even headed over to my crummy house since I'm not a high enough HR to unlock anything. I had to start a new file just to get all of the footage I wanted, and that meant unlocking Longsword and moving on from there. All of this was great to experience, but there was one more very important event I had to check out in VR. Typically, I wouldn't have access to Jhen Moran's hunt as it's an HR-locked urgent that needs to be completed in Loc Lac in order to ascend into high rank. But there is one condition that makes it possible within any hunter rank. By making sure the Sandstorm event is running in Loc Lac, a special event quest is presented that allows players to hunt Jhen early. I was not prepared for this hunt, wearing armor that was in no way protection against this giant sand whale, and I could and did find myself getting easily carded due to my low defense. But it was all worth it, because in the end I was able to present something like this to you all. Watching Jhen fly over my head like that, it really felt like I was on the boat in the desert sea, fighting for my life against a giant whale that wanted nothing more than to take it from me. The immersion I felt playing through this hunt, albeit not very well, was a next level experience I've never felt in Monster Hunter before. In terms of getting this set up, I won't personally be providing a tutorial. However, I will offer a link to the Dolphin VR build in the description. If you have a headset and can connect it to your PC, simply running the game through Dolphin should be enough. I'll also link some images showcasing the various settings I used to make sure that the VR system was fully functional. I'm not a developer on this system and cannot provide full tech support or troubleshooting, but I do want you to have the opportunity to experience this. If for some reason you have major issues, comment below and I'll try to update the description with further instructions when necessary. Assuming I found it, there should also be a different tutorial video linked there too. Generation 3 is one of my favorite eras of Monster Hunter. I love revisiting it, and being able to experience it in virtual reality felt like I was experiencing it for the first time all over again. I want to give a big shout out to Pickles for not only bringing this setup to my attention, but also guiding me along the way to getting it ready. And another big shout out to the developers of Monster Hunter 3 SP and the Monster Hunter Tri Discord for helping me get the Loc Lac server set up so I could record all of my footage. Again, links in the description. Monster Hunter Tri is amazing, and Monster Hunter Tri in VR is truly wondrous. Thank you all for watching.